Hey everyone, good evening. I hope you all are doing well. I'm here stealth camping in my Honda Accord. I have my bedroom all laid out and I'm stealth camping in the city tonight because I had to come in to do some grocery shopping, resupply my pantry, fill up my water, and do some business related items. So I am in a parking lot. And my strategy is always that I find a parking lot that's going to have people in it all night long, and I'm parked under a street lamp, so it doesn't look like I'm hiding in the shadows in the back of the parking lot. But I have all my windows blocked out, including a privacy screen over my rear window, so I'm encapsulated in this perfect environment, just cozy, and I'm ready for a good night's sleep. I've had a busy few days. I've been near the Kanab area and camping on BLM land. So driving out to that particular campsite was a little dicey. The roads were pretty muddy with some mud holes, and so I had to be careful. I put my Honda Accord in four-wheel drive low and lifted the suspension 6 inches to make it through the ruts. I'm joking, by the way. I do not have four-wheel drive in my Honda Accord, but the car managed it okay, and I was pretty pleased with how I did. The next morning, I woke up early, got dressed, made a great breakfast. I made an omelet with onions and portobello mushrooms, and then I made pancakes with a light sprinkling of 68% Ghirardelli chocolate. All right, so I do have a good breakfast planned today. It is really windy out, so I really hope that this audio works out all right, but I'm going to do my best here to give you a good presentation of breakfast. First of all, I'm going to grind my coffee, and a lot of you, rightfully so, made fun of me last time for crushing coffee beans with 2 rocks, which I had to do that because that's all I had. I had 2 rocks. Today I'm going to make my coffee, and I'm going to grind it with my grinder. I got that for about $2. See, the recipe says separate 2 eggs. Okay, so that's done. I'm going to make scrambled eggs. I have a portobello mushroom that I picked up at the market, and I'm just going to remove the gills here and then also the stem, and I will score the mushroom, and that way when I am frying it in the pan with a little bit of butter, then it will kind of maintain its shape if I score it across the top. I have a few onions I'm going to put in with my scrambled eggs, and then I am going to make pancakes. And I have some pancake mix here that I keep in my favorite cashew jar. And I also have some Ghirardelli chocolate that I picked up. It's 72% Ghirardelli dark chocolate. So I'm going to spread that on the top and top it off with a banana. The first hike I did was the Kanab Dinosaur Tracks Trail. Superb trail. It's very short. It's a little muddy. It's a little steep in sections, but it takes you up to the Kayenta Formation, where there are some dinosaur footprints that date back about 180 to 190 million years ago. Just walking through history, the Earth's history, just fantastic. Okay, so the trail really wasn't too bad. A little bit muddy at the start. I think it must have rained here within the past week or so because the ground was a little bit muddy, a little bit sketchy. But this is largely Navajo sandstone, or at least it's a composite along with Navajo sandstone in this section. And this is of the Kayenta Formation. And from what I read from the information I received from the BLM office, These are theropods and quite potentially Chiantopus dinosaurs. I'm not claiming to be a paleontologist. I'm definitely not claiming to be a paleontologist, although I do have formal education in geology, but I'm just kind of guessing on which dinosaurs these are. They date back about 180 to 190 million years ago, and here are what looks to be 2 dinosaur tracks, but they're just all over. They're scattered all over. What a neat find here on top of this ridge line a couple of miles away from Kanab. Okay, I have another hike planned. We're gonna go see the sand caves now. The second trail I did was the Kanab sand caves, and this is a great trail. Once again, pretty short, but it takes you into some caves within some Navajo sandstone. And Navajo sandstone exhibits a couple of geologic formations. One of them is called cross bedding, and then the other formation is called a Lisa Gang band or a Lisa Gang ring. I won't go into how those particular geologic formations come about, but I'll leave some links in the description below which will show you, which will let you learn for yourself how those formations are made. Let's look at these fantastic banding patterns right here. Can you see those right behind me in this area? And those rings or bands are kind of everywhere in this sandstone. But that's something that we see a lot in sandstone. And these are called Lisa Gang bands or Lisa Gang rings. And it's not completely understood what they are or how they're formed, but the basic premise or the current kind of theory or hypothesis is this Navajo sandstone was originally a sand dune, and or sand dunes, multiple sand dunes, and there was overlying compressional forces which lithified this into actual rock. But you can see that it breaks apart really easily because the substrate is very sandy, and that is the erosional aspect of the Navajo sandstone. But the current idea is that after the sandstone lithified, meaning after it hardened into an actual rock, then there was fluid, water, with minerals, maybe iron or maybe some other minerals, and that water, because sandstone has a porosity factor to it, that water percolated, seeped into and percolated through, and then there was a precipitate which came out of the water and left these bands. One of my interests in life is studying cemeteries, and quite often when I'm studying sandstone grave markers in cemeteries, I will find banding like this within the grave marker. Hey, dude. Okay, well, I was having such a fun time up there in the sand caves that I let the sun go down on me. All right, so I left the sand caves, and typical of me, as I'm known to do, I left it too late and I walked out of off of the trail. It was completely dark. Luckily, I had plenty of flashlights and a GPS point to find my car. So there was a McDonald's just down the road, awfully tempting to go and get a double quarter pounder cheeseburger, whatever they are. Oh, it's a sad state of affairs when I am thinking about that. But I realized I do have food. I actually had in my cooler, I had a small steak. I'm gonna go ahead and have a steak tonight. It's actually been a few days since I've had any red meat. So I'm gonna grill, pan fry that up. I'm just gonna simply boil some red potatoes. I'm not gonna try to broast them like I did last time. I'll throw some butter in there just to make them tasty. A yellow squash, I'm gonna cut that finely into just little slivers and fry it up. And some baby carrots, just babies, little baby carrots. Just gonna hand eat those, just crunchy crunch. Not gonna cook those at all. I'll wash them off, but that's it. Anyway, water's on to boil. Potatoes are first, then I'll probably do the steak, and then I'll do my squash. And then I'm going to go to bed tonight. But I'll see you bright and early in the morning because I have a great hike planned tomorrow. I hope you're still watching this video because I think you're really going to like the hike that's on its way tomorrow. Okay, good night. Good night, everybody. I'm so tired. Okay, so I have made it to the Red Slot Canyon staging area parking lot. And the wind's gonna blow. And this is, they call it a trailhead, but it's really not much of a trailhead. There's a sandy road that leads out to the Slot Canyon. And in the parking lot, there were about 4 vehicles. And those are tour companies. They will, for a price, they will take you out to the Slot Canyon. 4-wheel drive vehicles, ATVs, which sounds pretty fun. Sounds fun to me. The cost is just really more than I want to spend, especially since I have the ability, I hope, to this hike. All right, so I had to alter my walking path. Had to deviate a little bit from what the GPS told me because the GPS, my coordinates had led me directly to the entrance of the Slot Canyon, but that mark, in order to reach that mark, I had to come down the canyon walls. All right, look at my meal for tonight. I'm kind of excited about this. So I just crossed over 500 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I know it's still a small channel, but it's growing. But I do want to do a celebration dinner. And tonight I'm going to make pork chops, tomatillos, and I have a radish here that I'm going to make just for some flavor and color. I did not cook my squash in my previous meal, so I'm going to go ahead and fry that up. And then for my pork chops, I'm going to grill up a pineapple. Okay, so just as I was cooking, some people came up and started chatting with me, which I always love that. I don't mind the interaction with people. It's kind of fun to speak with people because sometimes literally I will not have any human interaction for, I've gone as long as a week really without seeing or speaking with anyone. Anyway, a couple came over and started chatting with me, had a nice conversation with them, but it kind of delayed my cooking a little bit. And when you're cooking like a pork chop, timing is very important because you definitely want to make sure it's done well enough not to make you sick. What is the disease or the parasite? Trichinosis, I think. Definitely don't want that to happen. But you don't want to cook it too long because then it dries out. So I think I got it maybe a little bit more done than I would like. It's pretty good. The squash is nicely prepared. Radishes, you know, not always my favorite food, but it's nice for a little bit of flavor. And the tomatillos, they are good, but they do have a thick shell on them. And I boiled them for a little over 8 minutes. I think I could have either boiled them longer or peeled them. So I'm gonna have to do some work on my tomatillo preparation. Anyway, it's getting dark. It's been a good day, not really too long. I've done a little bit of hiking today and kind of almost had a bit of a lazy day. I'm gonna tuck into this meal and it's starting to cloud over. It's gonna rain tomorrow and then there's a possibility of snow in my area. So I have to decide what I want to do. I would definitely like to see some snow, definitely before the end of the season. So I'll let you know if I find some. All right, thanks for tuning in. I enjoyed making this video for you. Thanks to 500 subscribers, just a small channel, teeny tiny channel. Maybe we can help grow this channel together for other people who love car camping. All right, bye. Have a good sleep. Good night.